What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Matt Talk Sports, and I am back with another video. And this time, I am talking about Super Bowl 60. We have made it Super Bowl weekend. It is officially upon us. It takes place in San Francisco. I wish I was there, but instead, I'm back at my home in New York. Probably like the rest of you guys, just at home watching the game. Is probably the ideal viewing of the game because honestly, the Super Bowl has just become one big corporate event. But nonetheless, Super Bowl 60. Now, I wish my team was in the Super Bowl, but it is what it is. I'm back over here fixing my heartbreak per usual, like my team does every time during this time of year, just giving me pure heartbreak. But I'm over it. There are things to look forward to, I'm sure, with a lot of you guys with representing different teams and cheering for different teams. But we are officially here for the conclusion of this great NFL season. And in my opinion, it's been one of the best NFL seasons of my lifetime. It's just been pure chaos, pure fun from start to finish. From week one, from Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott to now Super Bowl 60. Oh, how time flies when things are going good. But I will be talking about the Super Bowl this episode. I will be picking and predicting what happens in this game. I have a list of 10 things I think are for sure going to happen in this game. I'm picking heads or tails in the coin toss. I'm picking touchdown scores. I'm picking who's going to score first. I'm picking who's going to win the game. So, before I get into that, just letting you guys know, I'm going to talk about my future of this channel and the future of the Buffalo Bills after Sean McDermott's firing because there's a lot of Buffalo Bills stuff going on and I can't wait to talk about it just quickly for you guys before I talk about the Super Bowl. So, if you want to hear all those things, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe right here at Matt Talk Sports on YouTube, and follow me everywhere at Matt Talk Sports, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter for more short form content like this. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about what my channel is going to be after football because after Sunday and after my recap of the Super Bowl, we are without NFL football. Yes, we will have the draft, free agency, and trades, things of that nature. I will be covering those things. Not only will I be talking about trade pickups, free agency pickups, and draft pickups for my Buffalo Bills, but I will be talking about that for every other team. So I'll be doing a whole bunch of coverage like that. But besides NFL stuff and NFL offseason stuff, I want to tell you guys what I'm doing in between the start of the next NFL season. And if you were to ask sophomore year of high school Matt why he failed Italian class, he'd tell you he failed Italian class because he was tape studying UFC fights and preparing on who he's going to pick for those fights just for the fun of it and who he's going to bet on for those fights illegally. And to be quite honest with you guys, I love MMA and I love the UFC. And I've been wanting to start tape studying fights for the longest now. And I figured now is the perfect opportunity because I have a YouTube channel. And now I have a voice to talk about my predictions and my picks for UFC fights now. So I'll be doing that moving down the line. And if you watch my past video, my last video specifically, I wanted to break down Volkanovski versus Lopez too, or Gaethje versus Pimlet. And I didn't because I felt like I was ill prepared. I didn't have enough time to tape study. I didn't want to half ass my first UFC breakdown video. So, my first UFC breakdown video will take place for UFC 326. So be prepared for that. It will be uploaded here at Matt Talk Sports on YouTube. Holloway versus Oliveira 2. And we also get Renato Moicano versus Brian Ortega 2. So I'm excited for both of those fights. One of those fights, the main event, Oliveira versus Holloway, takes place between two of my favorite fighters of all time. Specifically, Charles Oliveira being my favorite fighter of all time for the BMF belt, which I hate, but those fights result in great fights. So it is what it is. Those BMF fights, as much as I hate the title, as much as it might come off as corny, the BMF fights usually turn out to be some great fights. So stay tuned for that. I'll be talking about all the big cards, and I will be doing fight night cards as well, depending on how much I like them and how much I think they're good enough to dive into. And I also will be doing NBA stuff. I've been getting more into the NBA. Yes, for me, NBA starts during Christmas time, but also I'm more focused on the NFL and football during those times. I don't want to half-ass my NBA coverage, but I've been watching Knicks all year because I like the Knicks. I love the Knicks. I'm from New York, and I know what's been going on there. And I'm not completely out of the realm of what's going on with the rest of the league, but I've been catching up just to make sure I'm not completely out of my depth when I talk about the rest of the NBA when I start my NBA coverage. The NBA trade deadline has been absolutely insane. A lot of bizarre trades, a lot of first rounders, second rounders. It's been a really bizarre trade deadline, and I can't wait to start talking about the NBA. So stay tuned for NBA coverage on this channel, and stay tuned for college basketball coverage on this channel, specifically during conference tourney time and specifically during March Madness time, because honestly, those are my favorite sports weeks and weekends of the year. So stay tuned for that. So outside of NFL stuff, especially NFL offseason stuff, stay tuned for UFC and MMA breakdowns, specifically of big UFC cards and big fight nights. Stay tuned for NBA coverage, playoff and before the playoffs. And stay tuned for college basketball coverage, March Madness and conference tourney stuff. So that's what this channel is going to be in between the start of the next NFL season. So stay tuned. I just want to let you guys know that's what I'm doing. So let's start getting back into football stuff. Bills stuff. This will be quick and neat because I don't want to make this video fully or majorly about Bills football, because this is a Super Bowl video and I want to talk about the Super Bowl first and foremost, but it would feel wrong for me not to talk about the Bills because the Bills fired Sean McDermott. I talked about that in the AFC Championship prediction and recap, and they have hired their new head coach, which is Joe Brady. They promoted him from OC, and in my opinion, I've had a few weeks to sit on it now. I think it was the right hire. I think it was a great hire. I'm very pleased with what the Bills have been doing, and I like how they surrounded him so far. Jim Leonard, the new DC, Peter Carmichael, the new OC, and I like what they've done with the offensive line coach, the DB/assistant head coach thing. I like that, and I'm very excited to see what this new young staff will lead to for the Buffalo Bills. Now, we have a nice young staff now, but we also have veteran savvy with the OC hire and Peter Carmichael. So I'm very excited to see what this new staff will lead to. But most importantly, I'm excited to see what Brandon Beane does. Because yes, I was upset about Brandon Beane getting promoted after Sean McDermott got fired. But at the end of the day, I think Brandon Beane has said the right things since the firing of Sean McDermott. And I think Joe Brady has said the right things as well. And I think this franchise has their head on their shoulders. And despite it being chaotic for the past 2 weeks, it's been pretty steady and pretty coherent over the past week or so. So I'm excited, and I'm excited to see how Brandon Beane surrounds his coaching staff with talent. We need to upgrade talent-wise, so I hope we ace the draft. I hope we ace trades. I hope we ace the free agency pickups, because if we do, I think this team will be in the Super Bowl next year. Now, I say that every year. But those are the expectations I should be having because of how great this team has been for the past 5 to 6 years. I'm not talking about some bozo team. I'm not talking about some lame, lousy team. I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills who have been the freaking trademark of the NFL for the past 5 or 6 years without even getting the Super Bowl. So I'm excited. We have the wonderkind at head coach now. We have a very bright, young-minded Jim Leonard at DC now. And I'm excited about the rest of the coaching staff. So I'm excited about the Buffalo Bills. And I was very excited about Josh Allen's interview on First Things First. He went on his Ops TV show, talked to Nick Wright, talked to Chris Broussard, talked to Kevin Wildes. That was very interesting to me. I did not expect that. It takes a lot of balls, honestly, because Nick Wright isn't too nice to Josh Allen. Yes, he respects and likes Josh Allen, but he is pretty, harsh to him when he loses. So I was very interested to see Josh go on First Things First, and he nailed it. So shout out to Josh Allen for just being one of the best people in the NFL, because I don't know about a lot of players that would do what he did, especially going on an Ops TV show. So pretty awesome stuff. And that is my Bills recap. So I will be talking about the Bills in the offseason when it pertains to trades, offseason pickups, free agency wise, and the draft. But I also will be talking about all the other teams as well. So stay tuned and stay ready for that, because there will be a lot of that taking place on this channel. But other than that, you know why I'm here. You know why you're here. We're talking about Super Bowl 60. It is upon us. It really is upon us. Now, when it pertains to betting, this won't be the only time we're talking about betting in this video. Now, I am a bad bettor, but I love betting for things and events like this. The Seahawks are minus 4.5 against the Patriots. The Patriots are plus 190 to win outright, and the over-under is 45.5. Pretty high, in my opinion. Pretty shocking. Now, before I talk about my picks and predictions for this game in length and in depth, I have 10 things that I think are going to happen in the Super Bowl pretty definitively. Now, some of them are long shots, but these are the 10 things I think are going to happen in this game on Sunday at 6:30 Eastern. So get ready for it right now. At number 10, this is probably going to be hard, and it's definitely not a definitive thing, but this is my prediction. At number 10, I have Cooper Kupp scoring the first touchdown in the Super Bowl. in my opinion, it's kind of written in the stars. Former Super Bowl MVP, one of the best receivers in the NFL up until this year, kind of took a backseat to JSN, rightfully so. But in my opinion, the Patriots are going to be worried about Kenny Walker, Rashid Shaheed, and JSN in the red zone. They might forget about Cooper Kupp, which is a bad idea, and Cooper Kupp's going to get in the end zone on a slant or an out route or a little in route. He scores the first touchdown of the game, in my opinion. At number 9, I think Matt Collins leads the Patriots in receiving yards in this game. And honestly, I think it's due to how great the Seahawks defense is. I think they're going to be honed in on Kayshon Boutte, Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, and Stephon Diggs, which leaves Demario Douglas and Matt Collins for me. And in my opinion, Matt Collins has been more of a safety blanket and more of a guy that Drake May goes to when things get tough. And to me, that smells Matt Collins leading the Patriots in receiving yards. Now, I think the Patriots are going to be struggling passing the ball in this game, so that might just mean like 60 receiving yards or 70 receiving yards. But ultimately, I think he leads the Patriots in receiving yards. At number 8, I think the Seahawks have 5+ sacks. One of the things to talk about in this game is how underwhelming the Patriots O-line has been. You've seen it with Drake May's turnovers. You've seen it with the amount of sacks this defense has let up. Granted, they faced 3 very good defenses in the 3 playoff games they played. They're playing a 4th one here, and possibly the best out of the bunch. They have a great D-line they have to face, great linebacking core, a great schemed defense with a great secondary, which leads to Drake May holding on to the ball a little too much and leads to 5+ sacks, in my opinion. I think DeMarcus Lawrence has a huge day, which we'll be talking about a little bit further up this list. At number 7, the Patriots allow 28+ points, which would be an anomaly because their defense has been stellar for the past 3 playoff games. But that is not as all as it might seem because the Patriots allowed 7 points against the Broncos, the Patriots allowed 16 points against the Texans, and the Patriots allowed 3 points against the Chargers. So the Patriots have just been dominating opposing offenses. They've just been dominating opposing offenses. So I think that's not going to be the case here because this is the best offense they've faced the entirety of this playoffs. And that's going to shine through because they're going to allow 28+ points in this game. And number 6, which might not be a wild prediction or a hot take, Drake May has 2 or more turnovers this game. Drake May has been a turnover machine throughout the entirety of this playoffs, and he's facing another great defense, and in my opinion, that means 2 or more turnovers again. He might even have 3 or more turnovers. I think he would fumble the ball and throw a pick, but would I be surprised if it's just 2 picks and no fumbles? No. I think he's going to turn the ball over 2 or more times regardless. And number 5, this is a big one. I wish I could bet, but I'm in New York and you're not allowed to bet Super Bowl MVPs. Kenny Walker or Rashid Shaheed wins Super Bowl MVP. I think Kenny Walker has been one of the most unsung heroes in the playoffs this far. He's been great, especially when Zach Charbonnet went down. Kenny Walker has been electric. And I think Rashid Shaheed is awesome. Rashid Shaheed has been so good for the Seahawks ever since he got acquired during the trade deadline earlier this year. In my opinion, it's the best trade deadline move. They got him for very little, and he's been dominating, really, with little love, meaning little catches, but he's been making the most of all the catches and production he's had on special teams. So I think Kenny Walker or Rashid Shaheed will win Super Bowl MVP. At number 4, I think Kenny Walker has 100+ yards rushing, which is crazy. And I'm kind of shocked that the Broncos didn't have 100+ yards rushing against the Patriots in the conference championship game because the Bills dominated in the toss game, in those type of runs, quick sweeps. Like, the Bills dominated there. And despite the Seahawks not having a great O-line, I do think they have a good enough O-line, and I do think Kenny Walker's an explosive enough player to really go off in this game. I think Kenny Walker has 100+ yards rushing, and I think he dominates as a playmaker in this game, whether it's in the receiving realm or in the run game. I think he has a really big day. He's a great playmaker. He will make players miss. He will truck you over. He's a great playmaker, and he shows that evidently here in this game with 100+ rushing yards and possibly Super Bowl MVP. Number 3, DeMarcus Lawrence has 2+ sacks. Now, this D-line for the Seahawks is stacked, and I think they will have 5+ sacks. I think DeMarcus Lawrence feasts in this game, especially off the edge. That man is a demon. He's been waiting for this moment all his life, and he's in the Super Bowl. He's going to have 2+ sacks in this game. Number 2, this is a tough one because I love JSN. He was on my fantasy team. I think JSN has under 100 receiving yards, and that's nothing to do against his talent. This mostly just has to do with how great Christian Gonzalez is. I think Christian Gonzalez is going to have JSN a little bit of a chokehold in this game. Not saying JSN won't have a touchdown. Not saying JSN won't have 70-plus yards receiving. I think due to Christian Gonzalez, I think Sam Darnold will go to other players in this offense, which will be the right thing to do because this whole defense will be honed in on JSN because of how dominant he's been. So I think Kenny Walker's going to get a lot of burn. I think Shaheed's going to get a lot of burn. Kupp and A.J. Barton are going to get a lot of burn. Possibly even Elijah Rojo. And number one, the man who might win Super Bowl MVP. I think Rashid Shaheed scores a special teams touchdown and a receiving touchdown. He's going to have a dominant day in this game, in my opinion. Shaheed is going to prove why he was the best trade deadline acquisition in the entirety of this NFL season. Rashid Shaheed scores a special teams touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So those are my 10 Super Bowl predictions. Some of them are long shots, but some of them I think are actually going to happen. So if you watch this video, if you've seen this clip on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, and I got those predictions right, or at least most of them, come back and let me know I got them right, just to make me feel good. So those are my predictions for the Super Bowl. And notably, you realize in that list, I didn't predict who was going to win the game. That was purposefully done. Now, everyone and their mother is on the Seahawks, which worries me because I'm on the Seahawks as well. As you can tell by that list was mostly Seahawks-oriented and Patriots-oriented negatively, but I am on the Seahawks here. I think they cover the -4.5, and I think they win this game. But it's a major red flag to me that everyone and their mothers is on the Seahawks because I do think the Patriots are a good team. Now, the Patriots have had a screwed and skewed playoff run. They had to face Jarrett Stidham, C.J. Stroud, who had 4 turnovers in that game, and then they had to face Justin Herbert, who's just a habitual underperformer in the playoffs. Now they're facing the best offense they've faced all of this playoff run. And that's a big thing to me. Not only are they facing a great defense in Seattle, they're facing a great offense in Seattle with JSN, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, A.J. Barton, Sam Darnold, who's been really great. And then, obviously, the rest of that offense, which is very good. So, I think this is the best offense the Patriots have faced all of its playoff run. And you can argue it's the best defense they've faced all of its playoff run. Now, I like the Houston Texans. I love the Houston Texans defense. I wish the Bills had the Houston Texans defense, and I'm sure maybe 30 other teams wish they had the Houston Texans defense. But a lot of those teams, especially the Bills, wish they had the Seahawks defense. Just in talent. That Seahawks defense is ridiculous. DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, Reek Woolen, Amon Wari. There's a lot of great players and a lot of great talent on that defense. And not only is the talent on that defense great, but the coaching is great as well. And that's the thing with this game. Mike McDonald versus Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniel versus Clint Kubiak. It's hard to get better than that coaching-wise. 2 great coaches, 2 relatively young head coaches. Now, Mike Vrabel has a lot of experience dating back to his Tennessee Titan days as the head coach. Mike McDonald, second year in this, and he's in the Super Bowl. And his team has been getting better and better and better, and they don't blink when the lights are at its brightest, seemingly through his regime so far. So, this is a very interesting game, and as much props as I want to give the Patriots defense, I just think they had the luck of the draw, facing the quarterbacks they faced, facing the offense they faced, and to me, the luck is running out, and I think that will show up in this game, and I think this game will be close to start, but ultimately I think the Seahawks pull away and win by 10 or more points. Now, if you're a Patriots fan, you're probably rejoicing if you're watching this video, because I've picked against the Patriots the past 4 or 5 times, or at least the past 3 times in the playoffs. I thought the Patriots were going to lose all 3 of those games. Instead, they're in the Super Bowl. So, another thing I kind of want to talk about here is Drake May has been bad in the playoffs. Granted, he's faced some really good defenses, but he's just been bad. Turnovers, sacks, just been bad. And his O-line has been good either. But he's had a week off. Pretty much 2 weeks off. I don't know, man. The Patriots, as a franchise, if you look over their past in the Super Bowl, whenever they're the underdog, more times than not, they win. And more times than not, their quarterback shows up. Now, Drake May isn't Tom Brady, but he's in the franchise that made Tom Brady. Now, I don't believe in superstition, but what if Drake May shows up here and plays his best game? It's not completely out of the realm. We saw what Matthew Stafford has done against the Seahawks defense all year. Granted, as much as I like Diggs, as much as I like Hunter Henry, Ramondre Stevenson, and all the other players on this offense, they don't have Puka Nacua. They don't have Kyron Williams, Blake Corum. They don't have Devontae Adams. They don't have three really good tight ends, and they don't see the Seahawks 3 times a year, which might be to the Patriots' benefit because the Seahawks were accustomed to the Rams. They were accustomed to how Puka, how Adams plays. They were very much accustomed to how everyone played, how the coaching staff calls plays, and they aren't accustomed to the Patriots. So it's very, very interesting, and I do think Drake May is as good as Stafford, clearly, because they're both in the MVP race. So as much as I want to give the Patriots props here, and as much as I want to say the Seahawks are definitively going to win this game, would I be shocked if the Patriots win this game? Absolutely not, because of their franchise and historically what they've been doing. But here I think they're overmatched. And here they're facing a really good offense and a really, really great defense, which is quite the contrary to what they've faced through the 3 playoff games they played so far. I mean, when you have this good of a defense, and they're most likely going to be putting the Seahawks in really good field position, the Seahawks offense is going to capitalize, unlike the Texans, unlike the Chargers, and unlike the Broncos, who had to play with their backup quarterback. So unless there's some injuries mid-game here, I have a hard time seeing the Seahawks not capitalizing with this offense. I just do. Now, the Patriots have some very well-coached defense, and they have an OC that's been there, done that. I was telling my friend the other day, as much as I think the Seahawks are going to win this game, are there any other OCs you'd rather have in this spot than Josh McDaniels? We all know how bad of a head coach he is. We know how much he's failed as a head coach, but Josh McDaniels has faced the best of the best on defense in a lot of the biggest games of all time. And now he has a young, great, multi-talented QB in his hands. I mean, if you're a Patriots fan, you should feel confident. As scary as this matchup is, as vaunted as this team is, the Seahawks, you do have Josh McDaniels. You do have Mike Vrabel, who are dudes that are just game. Mike Vrabel has played in Super Bowls before. He's never head coached in a Super Bowl before, but he's been there and done that in big games. So, listen, I think the Seahawks are going to win. I think they win by 10 or more points, but the Patriots have Josh McDaniel, and to me, he's the weapon. If Josh McDaniel is reaching flow state in his play calling and the players are executing like Josh McDaniel draws up, then this game is for anybody. But ultimately, I think turnovers and sacks will put the Seahawks offense in really good field position, and I think the Seahawks offense is too good not to capitalize off of things like that. And that's quite the contrary to what the Patriots are accustomed to over the past 3 playoff games, because the Texans, Chargers, and the freaking Broncos haven't been able to do that. So it's very interesting stuff. I think Diggs is going to be shut down. I think I think they're going to have a hard time passing, and I think they're going to have a hard time running. But I do want to say this. Ramondre Stevenson has been very good, and he's going to get most of the burn in this game. I saw a couple people trying to put Trayvon Henderson on their MVP ballots and who think they're going to win the MVP for this game. Trayvon Henderson has 0 shot because he just hasn't been playing in these games because he can't pass block, and honestly, he's been really bad vision-wise as a running back in these playoffs. And Ramondre Stevenson has been the answer for the Patriots, getting big downs, breaking big tackles, missing big tackles. Ramondre Stevenson has been very good in this playoff. So, listen, it's going to be a hard game plan offensively for the Patriots. It just is. But you have one of the best offensive coordinators ever in front of you or behind you, whatever way you want to put it. So, interesting stuff. The thing about this game is, I'm not a Sam Darnold guy. I'm just not. He made the Super Bowl. Congrats to him. Listen, he's been great in the playoffs. He hasn't turned the ball over. Just been very, very, very good. But he got through the 2 biggest, brightest moments of his career in the divisional round and the championship round. Now he's in the granddaddy of them all. He's in the biggest spotlight ever in his career. Now, is he accustomed to the spotlight now? Or is he going to revert back to seeing ghosts? Is he going to revert back to the same old Sam Darnold that we're accustomed to? Or at least I'm accustomed to. So that's the big thing here. I don't think the Patriots offense is good enough. I don't think the Patriots is as good as it might seem. But if Sam Darnold shits down his pants, then this is free game, and the Patriots most likely win this game. So, I'm going against myself here, and I don't know if I've ever said this. I am riding with Sam Darnold, and I am confident he's going to play some smart football. Now, he's been dealing with this weird oblique injury. I don't know how severe it is. He got it in the divisional round of the playoffs. He's been playing through it fine. But I'm going with Sam Darnold here. I trust him. I trust him to play smart football because that's what he needs to do. Don't turn the ball over and you win this game. Same could be said about Drake May, but in my opinion, You aren't facing C.J. Stroud. You aren't facing Justin Herbert. You aren't facing Jarrett Stidham. You're actually facing Clint Kubiak, Sam Darnold, JSN, Kenny Walker, Cooper Kupp, and Rashid Shaheed, A.J. Barner, Elijah Rojo. Like, that's a fucking really good offense. So, I'm curious to see what the Patriots defense does schematically, and I'm curious to see what Josh McDaniel does schematically to take advantage of this vaunted Seahawks defense like no one else has had all year. Like, I guess you're gonna have to go back to the Rams versus Seahawks games this year to see how you can possibly take advantage of this Seahawks defense, but ultimately I don't see how it's done. I really don't. I'm struggling to find a way to see how the Patriots win, unless it's Drake May just going nuclear and Josh McDaniel reaching flow state and everyone just clicking at the right time. Because if we're going off what we've seen this year, if we're going off of what we've seen in the playoffs this year, if we're going off of talent, you have to go with the Seahawks. You just have to. Reek Woolen, Ahmad Warry, DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and then you go to that offense. It's like, man, how? How do the Patriots win this game? It would have to be through Josh McDaniel. It would have to be through turnovers forced by their defense. It would have to be through Drake May. So, I'm trying to figure out a way to maybe argue the Patriots winning this game, but I just can't see it. I really can't. As much as I want to kind of make this breakdown of this game interesting, as much as I want to make this analysis of this game even, I really think it's outweighed here quite a bit. I think the Seahawks are definitively the better team. They have the better talent, and right now I think they have the better head coach, which is hard to say because Mike Vrabel is an excellent coach, and I think he's uberly talented. So I think the Seahawks win by 10 or more. It's going to be a close game for a little bit, but ultimately the talent and discipline pulls away in this one. I think the Seahawks have the better talent, they have the better discipline, and I think they win this game by 10 or more points. And ultimately, the Patriots were a year or two early, which is scary because they have a lot of money to spend in free agency, and they're only going to get more experience, especially where they want to the most at quarterback with Drake May. Listen, Seahawks win this game, and I'm going to give you guys my touchdown scores. I know I gave you my 10 predictions for this game. I think Rashid Shaheed scores 2+ touchdowns. I think Cooper Kupp scores a touchdown. And I think Kenny Walker scores a touchdown. Now, I think the Patriots are going to score 17 or less points in this game. So 2 or less touchdowns. And ultimately, these are the two players I think are going to score a touchdown for the Seahawks. Give me Matt Collins to score a touchdown. And give me Ramondre Stevenson. So I have Ramondre Stevenson, Kenny Walker, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, and Matt Collins all to score a touchdown in this game. Those are my touchdown scores in this game. In case you're wondering what I'm taking for the coin toss in this game, give me heads. I know a lot of people say tails never fails. Give me heads. Ride with the big-headed bastard here. Take heads with me. And for me, the final score prediction of this game is 35-17 Seahawks. It's going to be close. Probably going to be like 7-7 heading into the second quarter, 10-3 heading into the second quarter. Then ultimately by halftime, it's more like 17-3, and the Seahawks start to pull away. So that is my picks and predictions for Super Bowl 60 this weekend. Hopefully it's a great game. Hopefully you guys have a fun time at your Super Bowl party. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a Super Bowl party type of guy. I'm just not. I don't want to rehash Bill Burr's bit here, but I want to watch football with people that watch football, or I just want to watch it by myself. Call me antisocial. Call me lame. That's how I want to do things. I want to watch football by myself because I don't want to hear people worrying more about the commercial than the game. Like, if the Bills ever make the Super Bowl again, God willing, I'll be watching that game by myself most likely or with my family because I don't want anyone talking shit to me because I will explode. I don't want anyone bothering me about fucking Kylie Jenner or Charlie XCX in a fucking commercial. I want to watch the game. So, just keep that in mind. Let me know how you guys are spending your Super Bowl. Are you at the Super Bowl in San Francisco? Are you having a Super Bowl party with friends, with family? Or are you watching it with just your family or by yourself or with the boys? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you made it this far. Let me know what's your score prediction for this game. Let me know who you think is going to score in this game. Let me know who you think is going to win the MVP in this game. Let me know. Let me know who you think is going to win. Because I've been picking against the Patriots for the past 3 games in the playoffs, and I've been wrong every time. Am I finally going to be right here? Am I going to go 1-3 picking against the Patriots, or I'm going to go 0-4? Who knows? But I think the Seahawks are the better team. They have the better talent. They have slightly the better coaching. But obviously Josh McDaniels, I mean, as OC, hard to really have little to no confidence in. But ultimately, offense is more talented than the Patriots' offense. Seahawks defense is more talented than the Patriots defense, and ultimately, this is the toughest challenge the Patriots have faced all year in the playoffs. And in my opinion, this is the second toughest challenge the Seahawks have faced all year in the playoffs. So, it is your boy Matt Talk Sports. The next time you'll see me is a recap of this game Monday morning, hopefully, or Monday afternoon. Who knows? Just expect it Sunday night or Monday afternoon, Monday morning. And then the next time you'll see me after that probably will be March 8th for the UFC breakdown of Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira card. So that will be awesome. That will be fun to do. And then from there, you'll see me doing NFL draft stuff, free agency stuff, and trade stuff. So, and also you'll start seeing me doing NBA stuff. You saw the gist at the beginning of it. You get it now. But anyway, it is your boy Matt Talk Sports. It was a fun time breaking down the Super Bowl. It was a fun time picking touchdown scores, picking heads or tails. If you made this far in the video, thank you so much. Hopefully you click subscribe and hopefully click the like button. And I'll see you there Monday for a recap of Super Bowl Sunday. Peace.